Techeetah driver Jean-Eric Vergne survived a late-in-race investigation for a possible safety car infringement to win ABB FIA Formula E's first race at Sanya ahead of Oliver Rowland. Rowland finished ahead of BMW and Reddy's Antonio Felix da Costa, but both drivers face a post-race investigation for their clash. At the start, Rowland made a great start from his first career FE pole to lead into the first corner, actually the track's 10th turn, ahead of Vergne, who had to briefly fend off da Costa after making a slower getaway from second. Rowland and Vergne initially broke free at the front before being joined by da Costa, and the lead pack grew over the ensuing laps as Rowland marshaled his lead. By the third lap of what would become a 36-tour event, it was a 5-car pack with Abt and Sims running behind da Costa, and before long Andre Lotterer made it a 6-car train. Rowland was at a slight energy disadvantage throughout the first half of the race, which included a brief full-course yellow during the early stages due to Felipe Nasser, who later retired in the pits, failing to initially get off the line with the field. The leaders continued to circulate almost as one per lap after lap, with little interest in taking their first attack mode activation. It looked for so long like Rowland had his defense sorted in the lead, but at the final corner on lap 19, Vergne made a surprise lunge down the inside of the left-hander and seized first despite a brief lockup. Vergne scampered clear as the pack jumped on Rowland's shattered defense, with da Costa and Rowland clashing as they ran through turn 4 on lap 20, which caused damage to the latter's nose, and the incident is currently under investigation. The scrap, which included Abt, Sims, Lotterer, Robin Frijns and Lucas di Grassi, who had both caught the leaders after using attack mode earlier in the race, continued in spectacular fashion before Sims hit the wall at the inside of turn 5 as Lotterer ran alongside. The contact caused Sims to slow and he stopped on the long turn 7 curve with what appeared to be suspension damage, and his stranded car meant the red flags had to be brought out to suspend the race. The race restarted after a near 15-minute delay. Vergne led away once the safety car pulled in, but was placed under investigation for dropping too far behind before it came in. The race became a 9-lap dash to the flag, with Vergne leading throughout, as the leaders matched each other with their final attack mode usage. Rowland looked to be mounting a late surge but was told to secure the result by his Nissan team. Sebastian Buemi had to start from the pit lane after being handed a late penalty for a braking infringement in qualifying, and he caused the race to end under a full-course yellow by colliding with Frijns heading into the turn 8 hairpin. Buemi had charged from the back at the start to run behind Frijns in P8, but they came together at high speed on the run through the long curve of turn 7, which sent Frijns out of control and into the back of di Grassi. That put di Grassi out on the spot, and when he climbed from his car the FCY was called and Vergne led the pack home, with a reprimand being confirmed for his safety car infringement on the cool-down lap, and his win was secured. Lotterer finished 4th after a late move on Abt, which was investigated and found to be acceptable, with Buemi crossing the line in 6th. The Mahindra Racing pair of Jerome D'Ambrosio and Pascal Wehrlein finished 7th and 8th, with Jaguars' Mitch Evans and Venturi's Eduardo Mortara completing the top 10. The other non-finishers were Nelson Piquet Jr., who hit the wall at turn 2 shortly before the red flag, and Gary Paffett. A suspected drive shaft problem stopped the WA driver. Jose Maria Lopez also pulled off early on, while Stoffel Vandoorne and Sam Bird retired after the former ran into the latter on the opening lap, just as the full-course yellow was called. Share this article on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, email.